What's up guys, it's USA Specialist, and which season of Battlefield 2042 do you think was the best? Over the past 2 years of live service, DICE has rolled out a total of 5 seasons, all of which featured one new map, at least one new vehicle, a handful of weapons, a battle pass, and dozens of patches and updates. Starting with Season 1 and now pausing on Season 5 New Dawn, these updates have been the backbone of Battlefield's live service, as they're more so massive patches that help improve the game, while also adding some content. But if you want to hear me rant about DICE's idea of a live service, check out this video here. Today I wanted to rank these 5 seasons, picking my favorite and explaining why. As much as this live service has been bare bones, DICE has been able to achieve a seasonal cadence rather well once they got going, and while lacking in the big picture, each of these seasons did play an important part on their own, bringing in big changes, new content, and ultimately raising the game out of the grave, even if it was far too little, far too late for some of these needed updates. But guys, tell me your favorite season in the comments below, and let's get into it. Coming in at 5th, and I have Season 5 New Dawn. While New Dawn is a solid update, it's more so riding on the achievements of prior seasons. Seasons 1 through 4 stabilized the game, brought back classic features, fixed the majority of maps, and made this game much more playable. All Season 5 had to do was add to the gameplay, but outside of a map that most fans enjoy and a new mode that got fans' attention, Season 5 felt very anemic and very slow. It showed that DICE's live service is all about patches and updates, so once you take those away, the actual content of their service is very weak. And that's something you can see in the numbers, as Season 5 saw a huge drop-off in players while every other season saw growth. Season 5 did deliver a few important updates like portal weapons, and did show the devs are listening to the players, thus creating a smaller, tighter Battlefield 4 inspired map, and one of my favorite battle passes, but ultimately did nothing to curb the impending burnout of a 2-year-old shooter. Hopefully Season 6 is the massive shift we hoped Season 5 was going to be, but ultimately Season 5 was just the same as any other season, with even less in the way of changes, and you can see the fans didn't care to stick around. Moving on to 4th, and I have Season 4. And while I have this second to last, I think Season 4 is a fair bit better than Season 5, albeit not as impactful as the other seasons. Season 4 added my favorite map to the game in the form of Flashpoint, and a few of my favorite weapons alongside a strong battle pass. 11th Hour had the looks, it had the guns, it had the battle pass, and was the last time we'd get a new operator in the form of Blasco. So overall, Season 4 was where Battlefield 2042 was really hitting for me. It looked the part with a new grounded aesthetic, it felt great with a new map, great new game mode in Shutdown, and a few fan favorite weapons. However, Season 4 was also riding on the prior season's success and still needed a few more additions like portal weapon balances to be great, but a few of those changes were held over until Season 5 in order to give that update a little bit more significance. And while I have this season at 4th place, I think it was one of the best times for this game, but this season alone didn't achieve that. 0 Hour was the catalyst that set everything into motion, for better or for worse. 0 Hour was the moment DICE started to show signs of life, and where they started to actually try, introducing huge patches, committing to redesigned maps, and doubling down on this game's future. However, while we owe a lot to Season 1, let's not forget how badly this reveal went over with fans, and how DICE started to show their true character as they backpedaled, reduced content, and struggled to appease fans with only one new map. Season 1 was both the saving grace of this game, but also cemented DICE's limited support moving forward. A quote-unquote quality over quantity approach that has seen them drip feed content and patches over the course of 2 years that should have been here in less than 1. Season 1 marked the turning point for Battlefield 2042, but at a cost. It saved the game in some sense, but showed the grim reality that DICE was only committed to the bare minimum moving forward, and sought to stretch out updates and content as much as they possibly could, creating a fun yet shallow game. In its second, I have Season 2, Master of Arms. Master of Arms was the first time we'd seen an intense infantry-focused map in Battlefield 2042, and by this point the game was starting to receive polished content between new weapons, the first few redesigned maps, a great new vehicle in the form of the C-Ram, portal weapons, and another fresh battle pass. Season 2 doubled down rather well and had the game in a mostly stable place, and fans were excited about the future. So overall, while Season 2 Master of Arms wasn't anything insane, it certainly improved upon Season 1 and started to deliver a much more polished and dependable experience, at the center of which was an intense new map, interesting new vehicle, and fresh new weapons like the Advances, and you saw the fans starting to really respond. Coming in at first, I have Season 3, Escalation, and while still a slight disappointment like every season, and featuring what I would call their worst limited time mode, Season 3 is where this game was at its all-time high. Season 3 dropped at the end of November 2022, and saw an explosion of players both new and old. It felt like for a moment that Battlefield was finally back with a sexy new look, great new battle pass, new interesting weapons, an epic new tank, and a map that almost everyone praised. This was also the moment when Battlefield 2042 hit Game Pass, and because of all of this fresh content, months of updates, and now free access, it felt like Battlefield had finally gotten back on top. Ultimately, Season 3's success led into Season 4 and created a several-month period where Battlefield was a worthwhile franchise again. However, like I said at the top of the video, all this hype instantly died with Season 5, where we saw about a 75% player drop-off from Week 1 of Season 3 to Week 1 of Season 5. Season 3 hit just right at just the right moment with solid content, patches, and other changes like Game Pass, but DICE being DICE couldn't hold on to its success, which has driven the game back into its second worst player count ever. Battlefield 2042 has had its fair share of fun moments, but ultimately DICE hasn't been able to hold down whatever it is that makes fans stick around. Hopefully Season 6 turns that around, but tell me what you think in the comments below. For everything else Battlefield, stay tuned and subscribe, and as always, thank you guys for watching.